So thank you very much, Dr. Anurag, to uh, means to allow us to show this beautiful feature of the ChemDraw. Now we will discuss about the version 20 of the ChemDraw, basically. So there is a new version just released in the few weeks back. Uh, so we will discuss about the what are the features included in the ChemDraw. Then we will discuss about the ChemOffice Cloud, right? So there is a new feature called ChemOffice Cloud. Then we will discuss about the Chem 3D, and then the Signals Notebook. Signals Notebook is basically electronic lab notebook, which is integrated within the ChemOffice, right? Okay, so I hope you all know about the ChemDraw, right? So it's a chemical drawing tool since 1985. ChemDraw stands for publication grade quality, user friendliness, chemical intelligence. Publication grade quality, like there are certain journal formats, right? So they have prescribed some standards to draw their molecules, right, in their particular formats. So like JMatChem is there, JNatural product is there, RCS is there. So likewise. Uh, so what I'm going to show you is the hotkeys, the how you can draw the molecule with the help of your keyboards, right? So that we will uh, showing you. Okay, so first let me brief you about the licensing evaluation. So the previous version of the ChemDraw, that is ChemDraw 19, ChemOffice Professional is there. So there are three packages: ChemDraw Prime, ChemDraw Professional, and ChemOffice Professional. But now in the ChemDraw 20, they have incorporated ChemOffice Plus. Plus means, if you can see, there is a Cloud Plus. So it's a ChemOffice Cloud Plus, right? We will discuss about the features of the ChemDraw Prime, ChemDraw Professional, and ChemOffice Professional. So whatever the features are there in the ChemDraw Prime is also obviously there in the ChemDraw Professional, and whatever the features in the ChemDraw Professional, it will be there in the ChemOffice, right? So ChemOffice is the ultimate one package. So this is important. Basically, what are the system compatibility before if you want to install the ChemDraw. So just keep in mind that it is compatible with the Windows 7, 32-bit, 64-bit, Windows 8, 10, right? Currently, there's no support for Microsoft Edge browser, right? But rest of the browser are compatible. That is basically a testing phase. So Mac, basically, there is a lot of question about where it is compatible with the Mac system. So only ChemDraw Professional is compatible with the Mac system, not ChemOffice, right? So I will show you what are the features and the functionality of the ChemOffice there. Now, so calculation engine for Chem 3D. So we will discuss about the third-party software which is compatible with the Chem 3D. So Gaussian 09, Gaussian 16, Conflex for confirmation analysis, Autodoc, MGL. Then we have Gamus. So Chem 3D acting as a third party or GUI, right, for these software. So if these software are installed on your particular system, Chem 3D will act as a GUI. Right? All right. So this is for ChemDraw 20 compatibility. Then we will do ChemOffice Plus Cloud. What is the ChemOffice Plus Cloud, right? So earlier version, if you can see, ChemDraw ChemDraw edition, MNOVA edition. There are some interfaces like, then we have a Chem Finder. So in the earlier version, it is also always there in the ChemOffice Professional, but now they have added the cloud version. Right? So now what is this ChemOffice Cloud? Uh, so suppose if you have your system, and in the system are drives like C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive. So in those drive, your chemical data is scattered, right? Some chemicals you have saved in as a doc file, you have saved as a XLS file, right? You have saved as a ChemDraw file, right? Or in the presentation, you have uh, saved your drawn molecules. So those all files are scattered, right? So what ChemOffice do is it will collect all those data, right? And then it will save it in a cloud. So it is beautiful, accessible, actionable, and chemical knowledge part. So it will collect all the data from your system and place it at one place, that is a cloud, right? Okay, so what ChemOffice Cloud do is it will drill down into ChemDraw file. You can browse mol file, SDF file, uh, as I have told you, MS Word file, MS PowerPoint file. You can create a collection. You can edit the properties, add the properties, combine the collection. You can directly export those molecules to create your PowerPoint report slide, right? So don't confuse with this cross marks. Cross marks means it's basically included feature in the ChemOffice Plus. Right? Okay. Now this is all about the ChemOffice Cloud. We will discuss it elaborately when we start the demo session. Now we will come to the ChemDraw professional part, right? So there's a new hotkeys are there. So what is hotkeys is, instead of mouse, you can use the keyboard to draw the particular molecules, right? So if I press 1, it will be a single bond. If I press 2, it would be a double bond. If I press 3, it would be a triple bond, like that, right? And if I press A, it would be a benzene ring, like that, right? So it allows you to draw the structure quite, in a faster way, right? So it will ultimately save your time to draw the molecules. So we will discuss about this, and then we have highlight colors, right? So in the earlier version of the ChemDraw, if you can recall, uh, some groups or some bonds needs to be highlighted in a color coding, right? Like a color code. So in the new version, they have incorporated the highlighting the colors, right? So any color you can apply to any bond, any atom, right, or any area of your drawn compound. So this feature is basically includes in the ChemDraw Professional and ChemOffice Professional. Then we have a 3D cleanup. So what 3D cleanup is, in the ChemDraw, we can draw 2D structure, but now we can add a 3D property within the ChemDraw, right? So it also includes the molecular mechanics. So once you clean up your molecule, it will do the molecular mechanics. Then second time, if you do, then it will start the molecular mechanics, and then you will get ultimately you will get the 3D structure with the depth shading, right? Uh, Regarding licensing or availability of the ChemDraw, so as I've told you, it is available on Windows and Mac. it's not for the Linux. I'm sorry for that. So 3 packages are there. ChemDraw Prime, so in which you can draw, copy paste, and new hotkeys are there. Then we have ChemDraw Professional, which includes all the features of the ChemDraw Prime. Then we have a Helm. Helm is basically, if you can recall in the earlier version, there are biopolymer options, right? So you can draw the amino acid side chains and DNA, RNA like that. So instead of that, in the new version of the ChemDraw, not a new version, it is there uh, uh, in a ChemDraw since I think ChemDraw 17 or 16. So Helm is basically stands for hierarchical editing language for micromolecules, right? So you can draw the RNA, DNA fragments, the amino acid side chain, right? If you have some other macromolecules customization, you can also do in the Helm, right? Then we have highlight colors, 3D cleanups. These features are there in the ChemDraw Professional. Then ChemDraw Professional, and then we comes it comes ChemOffice Professional, which includes all the features and the functionality of the ChemDraw Professional. Cloud, right? ChemOffice Cloud that we have discussed. Google Patents add-in, right? So this feature is it will be published in the minor revision of the ChemDraw. I think December 2020 they will going to release this one. Interface for the third party, like as we have discussed, third party for the Gaussian, for the gamers, for Autodoc, right? So that feature is there in the ChemOffice Professional. Then ChemDraw MNOVA Lite version. So you can process and analyze your 1D data, right? With the help of 1D NMR data with the help of ChemDraw MNOVA Lite version. Signals Notebook Individual Edition, as I have told you, it's a ELN, Electronic Lab Notebook, which is also a cloud application, right? So it's just like our class book notebook. So in the notebook, we have a certain number of experiments. So likewise, you can create the notebook, and within that particular notebook, you can add your experiments, and you can share it with your guide, right? You can create a group, and there is audit trail is also there. So whatever you have done, it will saved in the audit trail, right, as a history. So you cannot manipulate it. So it's a CFR Part 11 compliance software also. All right. So this is all about the brief introduction of the ChemDraw, what I'm going to show you, right? Now let me just begin with the demo session. If you have any questions, then just uh, let me know, or you can drop a mail to charitra@scubindia.com. Right.
Charitra, I think one student is asking, is it compatible for Google Chrome also?
Yeah, sure. Google Chrome is compatible. The only thing is Microsoft Edge. If you are working in the newer version, like version 20, so it's in a testing phase. But for the Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, all the rest of the browser are compatible. Right. So should we continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, one more
Yeah.
question is coming from Jyoti, one of the participant. How can we
Okay.
download it?
How can you download? If you can, well, there is a site called SciStore, SCI stores.com. Let me just how I can do this. Okay. Okay, let me just open that particular size stores. Right, so here we have a size stores.cambridge.com. So ChemDraw is now the part of PerkinElmer, right? Earlier it was part of Cambridge Soft, but now the Cambridge Soft is acquired by PerkinElmer. So if you can go down, here we have the ChemDraw, right? So from here you can easily download the 14 days trial version of the ChemDraw, right? So size store is the site. All right. Okay, any other questions, sir?
Charitra, one of the student Prachika, she is mentioning that we face problem while viewing the PPT converted from camera in the mobile phone. Is there any compatible issue with mobile version or something?
From mobile.
I think
So
if you do the PowerPoint this presentation mode, I think it should not be an issue.
sorry. Uh,
Yeah, please go ahead.
no, regarding the query for the mobile, uh, actually, what you can do is whenever you copy and paste the particular document, it will save as an image file, not a CDX file. So I recommend you to go with if you are working with the desktop one, then only with the desktop one, or you can use ChemDraw Professional Cloud version, right? So if you have a licensed version of ChemDraw, then you must have received the ChemDraw Professional Cloud, right? Not a ChemOffice Professional Cloud. ChemOffice is the different one. If you have a ChemDraw Professional Cloud, then you can access from there, from your mobile and Mac itself, right? Okay. Uh, Now, let me begin with the demo session. So, first of all, so this is the version 20, right? So let me begin with the template section. So if you can see, there are templates for the BioDraw, amino acid, anatomy, animals, aromatics, right? So clipware, some new templates has been added, right? Now, the common query is how we can add our own, the template. So what you can do is you can just go to the template section. Then we have a new templates here, right? Now, let's say I'm working on a Taxol. Taxol is basically the anti-cancer drug, right? So, oh, okay. Right, so it's a quite big structure. It may take a lot of time to draw this particular structure, but not with the latest version of the ChemDraw. As I've told you, you can just draw it with the help of hotkeys. So this is just for the example I have taken. So Texol, suppose I just need to save it as a template because in the future versions, I need to work on this. So what I can do is I go to the file, save as, and make sure it should be .ctp file format. Right. So let's, file name is Texol and save it. Now, when you go to the template section, the new template Texol has been added. Right. So you can uh, work with this in the future uh, projects. Right. All right. So this is about the template. Then let me show you the hotkeys. So once you go to the help section, there is a shortcuts and hotkeys. So here you can see if I press 0, it's like a guide, right? When I press 0, it would be a single bond. Press 1, it would be a single bond in the same direction. Likewise, 2 for acyl group, 3 for benzene, like that, right? Now you can get the printout of this particular document, stick to your table and play it around. Right? So for meanwhile, I just show you like this is a single bond, right? Now, if I uh, press the arrow keys, so you can see the green dot, right, which shows you the next direction of the bond. So if I press 1 like this, right, 1 1 1, it's a single bond in the same direction. I'm not using my mouse, it's a keyboard. And then if I press O, it would be a OH. Then if I press uh, if I press 3, it would be a benzene. Then if I press 2 for double bond, right? Okay, this, 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 right? And if I click 1 and then C for C3, right? So this way you can draw the molecule quite faster way, right? Another feature I would like to show you is how to draw the bicyclopentanes, right? So it's quite common query how we can draw this. So let me just go to the solid bond, right? Then press Z1. Then we can press 5 for cyclopentane, then 1 to convert it into single bond. I can simply press V for cyclopropane, then delete this one, and then delete this one. Right. Now here comes the magic. If I press this part, and then if I move my cursor to particular bond, right, it automatically attached to that particular bond, like this one, and then like this one. So simply what I will do is, what I have done is, uh, if you can see, there is a limitation of bond length, right? But if I press Alt, it will be, it has no limit of the bond length, right? So simply I have done this part. So if there are two bonds or two atoms and there is a limitation of the fixed length, then it automatically unfix the length of bond between the two atoms. Then simply I can press 3, then single bond, then CH3. Now here comes another trick. If I select this part and press Control, it will copy, right? Then simply Control R. No, not to, I'm not going to rotate it. I just need to flip it. So go to the edge object, flip horizontally, right? So now here comes the another trick. I need to attach this atom with this one, right? So simply keep press shift and Shift, right, and then Control J. So here we have our molecule. Simply, if you would like to copy it, please Control K, or sorry, Control C. Right. So in this way, you can draw structures. I'm sorry for this background noise because we are all working from our home, so it's uh, so difficult. I'm sorry for that. Now, another thing is the Newman's projection of glucose, right? It's a quite common query how we can draw this one. So let me just begin with this one. Then H, there should be H, there should be H, right? Now, as I have told you, you can just copy by Control C, right? Now, as I have told you, you can unfix the length of bond by if you have two atoms, right? So here, here, all right. Then I just need to rotate it to 180 degree, Control R, 180, okay, enter, rotate it. Then I need to attach the s orbital here. Then I just need to select it, right click, bring to front, and then here, right? Obviously it will showing you the warning sign, this red sign, because we are overlapping the bonds. So you can just uh, uncheck the display one, right? So in this way you can draw the complex molecules. All right. Another feature is generic structures or bracketing expansion. So suppose if I would like to draw the peptide, right? Like this one. So it's if I press 2, be COO group, then N and single bond. Now I would like to expand this structure, right? So what we can do is just select the bracket and make this like here, and then it will ask you to so I would like to enter 7 repetition count, right? Now what I can do is I just need to select whole structure and expand generic structure, right? So here we have the whole 7 repetition units. All right. So if I have prepared example. So if I can this PG5, right? So this is the chemical structure of 5th generation dendronized polymer PG5, right? So this I have prepared, and if you can see the bracket expansion, the 10,600 units, repetition units, right? So if I select it and go to the structure and do the expansion of the structure, so you can imagine how big this structure is. But with this particular feature, you can just, you know, contract those structures. All right. Now the next feature is the catalytic cycle reaction or eclipse cyclic reaction, right? So let's say if I have this benzene here. Oh, no, not now. Let me begin with the arrow. So here we have an arrow, right? And you all know that we can uh, change the angle of the arrows, right? So let me uh, do this 120 degrees and expand it. Then we can play it around like here, right? Let's say this is my reactant and this is my one of the intermediate, right? Now what I can do is I can just select this arrow, Control C for copy, you know that, and then drag it back. Then what we can do is we can like drag the head part and drag the tail part. Let's say if I have this intermediate also here, then similarly Control K for copy, drag it back, then the head part, then the tail part like this. Then we have, suppose this is our product or intermediate, another intermediate, then similarly Control C, drag it back, and then same thing, drag from head and drag from tail. So in this way you can draw your simple cyclic or ecliptic cycle reaction, right? uh, if I can show you some examples, I have prepared examples for Wilkinson catalyst, right? So here we have, I have drawn this Wilkinson catalyst cyclic path. So this is quite easy, or in a faster way you can draw the cyclic reactions. Okay, sorry. Now toggling the aromatic display. So if I, this is a normal feature. So this is resonance structure of benzene, right? I can also toggle it. So simply you can Alt plus K, right? So it would be again toggling Alt K, right? So you can toggle the aromatic. Okay, and now some other tricks, because we are running, I think, short of the time. So I just need to cover all the features. So I just need to skip some of the features. Now, suppose this is the cyclo, what, hexane, right? Uh, then I simply press 6666. Then I can select the lower part, the ring, and press 1. Then select the terminal, 6. Then select, then press 1. Then again select, then press 6. Then again select, press 1. Again press 6. Right. So here we have our honeycomb structure, or you can say graphene backbone. Right. 616161, and then select the terminal, 616161, and so on. Right. So this is another trick. Now, if you can see, there are some biological samples are there. or a pathway like androgen pathway, citric acid pathway, HIV infection pathway, P53 pathway, right? So you can just, if you want, you can uh, open these pathways. It is not editable. So if I would like to edit it, it is giving me the warning sign. So what you can simply do is you just need to copy it and paste into the new document, and then you can edit it, right? These are the predefined templates. Okay, uh, let me see what I have left. Yeah, copy paste from Smiley's, Mole Text, Inkai, and Helm. Right. So here we have a Helm. So as I have told you, Helm is basically uh, the option for creating the macromolecules. Right. Uh, I'm sorry for that. It's freezed. Oh, sorry. Actually, there are a lot of programs running in the background. Come on. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I hope it will. Yeah. I'm sorry for that. Sometimes it happens. So let's say if I would like to add alanine, arginine, aspartic acid, cysteine, glutamic acid, right? Now I can expand these levels, right? I have made it. I can expand. What we can do is we simply select it, right? Right click, then go to the atom, expand label. So as soon as we do this, it will uh, expand your structure. Right? Not only with the amino acid, you can do this with the RNA or DNA, and if you have another your particular moieties, you can also expand it. Right? Okay, so this is all about the monomers. Uh, like just like a monomers lactone bridge or disulfide bridge, right? You can also draw. Adding variable attachment. Now this is interesting feature. So let's say if I have this benzene ring and I would like to add the functional group, like I would like to have nitrobenzene, the phenol, toluene, or aniline, right? So within the same structure, what I can do is I just need to go to the structure and add variable attachment. Then simply from this star sign, I can add a function in bracket. So double click add a bracket or square bracket, and within the square bracket I can write down the function groups like OH, comma CH3, comma NH2, and so on. And then close the bracket, then go to the just select all the component, and then we can go to the structure, expand generic structure, right? So I have all the structures separated, right? Okay, so this one feature, and if I can show you the R group, right? I don't know. I just need to practice it quite more. Sorry for that. Let me, okay, let me begin with this example. So here, if I have the R group, suppose, right? And this R group, if I can add the R group, should have this, this, and this structure. Following, and from here it should be attached to R. Here it should be attached dot. I'm just pressing the dot, and then I select all the component structure. Let's say, right. So here we have the R group structure. So in this way, you can do a lot more thing, right? Now another feature is the predicting the proton NMR and C13 NMR. So obviously, if you have an idea that you can do this from structure option, so the predicting proton NMR, C13 NMR, I have already am having a predefined example. So in ChemDraw NMR, basically, uh, there's a limitation that there are only two solvents, CDCl3 and DMSO, and the frequency range is 62,000 megahertz, right? So on the basis of that, if you can see, this is the NMR with CDCl3 at 80 megahertz. So just focus on this peak at 12 ppm, right? So this is the NMR at 80 megahertz for this compound. If you can see down, it is whole protocol is there, the assignment part. And if I go second structure, this is the HNMR for the same compound at 300 megahertz, right? So keep focus on this peak. It is going to be a sharp one. Then in the third one, the 600 at 600 megahertz. So this is quite, you know, uh, being a sharp one. Then 800 megahertz, right? This one, and then 1000 megahertz. So this is the theoretical spectra, 1000 megahertz, and you can see this peak, right? So if you would like to have the settings, go to the preference, then chem NMR. Here we have a DMSO and CDCl3, and from here you can set up the frequencies also. right? Okay, then what we have is the TLC and gel electrophoresis part, right? Uh, so here we have a TLC, then here we have a gel electrophoresis. You can drag it, you can convert into dash one, the bold one, right? Then doubled one. You can also change the color, right? You can set up the scale, right? You can show the size, right? So all these parameters or customization you can do. Uh, Now coming to the new features that is included in the ChemDraw version 20. Suppose this is one of the structure I would like to draw, right? And then press 2, then 2, right? Now, if you can select the benzene ring, and then if you would like to add the color, right? So what you can do is you can simply to the color, ring fill color, right? And then here we have another feature called the highlighting the colors. So I can highlight it as a green one or like this one, right? So this is the another feature. If I select it and then I can go the structure, then we have a 3D cleanup, right? So what we have discussed is it includes the molecular mechanics, right? So if once we click on this, right? And again, if I click on this, Shift Control D is the short form. Shift Control D, Shift Control D, D, D. All right. Now you can see the structure. So this is the one of the beautiful feature of the latest version of the ChemDraw. Right. Okay. So this you also do in a Chem 3D, right? Uh, I am just skipping the Chem 3D part. I because there is no such new edition in the version 20 Chem 3D. But one thing I would like to show you is the Chem Excel. So within the Excel sheet, you can prepare your chemical data. So let me do the Excel, Chem Excel. Okay. All right. So this is the Excel sheet, right? So once you have ChemOffice, then there is a new tab. Uh, so there is a new tab called ChemOffice 20, right? So once you click on this, go to the new ChemOffice worksheet. Let's say I just need to prepare the columns. So let's say it's a structure, should be a boiling point, should be melting point, should be IUPAC name, right? And so on. Now, let's just control B. Now, if say, if I write a structure called paracetamol, then let's say chloroform, then let's say acetic acid, right, and so on. Just select it, then go to the convert name to molecule. It's working, right? So with from name to structure is there in the ChemExcel. Now for boiling point, what you can do is there are the ChemDraw functions are there, right? So once you click on this, just need to uh, get the boiling point here. Now you just need to define the cell. So cell is A2. Click OK. Now for melting point, cell is A2. Click OK. IUPAC name, just search about the chemical name for A2. Click OK. Right. Now this is three structures. Suppose if you have a 50 or 100 or 1000 structure, so the limitation is around 5000 structure within the ChemExcel. So suppose uh, uh, getting the boiling point and melting point one by one is quite tedious job. So what you can do is there is a Excel function is there. So just need to drag and drop. Just select and drag and drop. Select, drag and drop. Right. So in this way you can save your chemical data. If you have your file already saved file in a .mol file or .sdf, then you can also export it. Right. You can also import it into SDF file also. Right. So this is one of the best feature to save your chemical data. Now, another thing I would like to show you is you can also save your chemical data in ChemFinder. So I'm not wasting the time or to show you the ChemFinder features, but I would like to show you this one. So here I have prepared some data for the drugs, and with some customization, with some new columns. Okay, I don't know, it's not showing. Right, so you can do all these things. You can put your particular logo, your company name. This is basically consumption form I have prepared for one of the client to show. So here we have a mole file, the IUPAC name, molecular weight formula, log P, donor, acceptor, the price if you want, then quantity. Now, what they want is if I have an initial quantity and if I withdraw some quantity, I need to calculate the final quantity, right? Now, to do this, suppose the quantity is 500 grams or ml, whatever. Now, I have withdrawn 150 ml, suppose 150 ml of or mg of paracetamol. Right. Now I can go to the calculation and it will show you the final quantity. So 500 minus 150, 350. And then you can update by date and time, right? And person XYZ, whoever is operating this one, right? Now, uh, if you would ask me about the data, so here we have a such table part. So here we have a whole data, right? With the date and time, with the quantity, with the all parameters. You can also add uh, new data or new structure, right? Simply just fill up all these form and then commit the change, and then you would be able to save it for your future one. Okay, so this is the cam finder. Uh, then I would like to show you the last one is ChemOffice Cloud, right? Uh, so ChemOffice Cloud, as I have told you, it is a new feature of ChemOffice Professional 20th version. So suppose I have Excel file, I have my Word file, I have ChemDraw file, I have a file in the .sdf file, and these all file are basically scattered in my drive, right? In the C file, C drive, D drive, E drive, like that. So what ChemOffice Cloud do is it will extract out all the chemical file for you, and then you can collect those data, like if I press this, if I select this, if I select this, if I select this, like 4 compound if I select, and then I can uh, make a new collection of these structures. So I just need to define the new collection, like 1 2 3, and then create, right? Now it's creating the collection, and once you done with this, then go to the collection. Here we have a demo 1 2 3. Oops, it's okay, okay, structure, come on. Oh, okay, okay, one feature I have just forgot to show you is if you can toggle this one, right? So here we have a drawing, here we have a reaction, whatever the reaction in those uh, file, it will show you all those reaction and the structures, right? uh, okay, let me just delete it. Yes, okay, let me create a new demo 1 2 3. Let me create. Oops, I don't know what is happening. uh, there is some discrepancy. Okay, let me start once again. Uh, Okay. Oops. Uh, Now, Signals Notebook is basically electronic lab notebook, right? So to access it, you just need to have your own ID and password, right? Okay. Right. So I have my ID, I have my password. So this is basically a cloud one. So whatever you have done, it will be saved in the cloud, and also you can access from your tab or mobile, right? So this is my dashboard. Now, just like our classbook notebook, we have a notebook, and within these notebook, I have created an experiment. So if I press aspirin synthesis, this is the notebook, and within the experiment, aspirin, one experiment I have done, aspirin synthesis, right? So just like introduction, reaction, procedure, analysis in the melting point, titration analysis, spectrum analysis. So like that we can do. So the ChemDraw is already embedded in the Signals notebook, right? So whatever we have drawn the structure, the reactant, the product information, the solvent information, uh, reaction conditions. So all these can be typed or also drag and drop, right? So if you have your Word file, you can also directly drag and drop to the Signals notebook, right? Uh, then what you can do, you can add text, you can add chemical drawing, Word file, Excel file, PowerPoint file, image file. Uh, you can have, if you have any other file, you can also upload it, right? Uh, after completing your experiment, you can share this experiment, right? Or before sharing, uh, you can create a group, right? So once you go to the user group, right? So I have some already uh, defined some group. So once you go to the add new user group, right? So suppose there is a teacher or a guide. Under the teacher, 5 student or 5 or 10 student or n number of students are there, right? So what teacher can do, he can or she can create a group, add all the students, and then the students can share their particular experiment to their guide, right? And after creating the group and sharing the experiment, what guide can do is they will review your experiment, right? And then they can sign it. So now this experiment is active, right? Your guide can sign and add reviewers, or he can sign and close it, right? So once you close the experiment, it would convert it into uneditable format. You cannot edit it, right? And also, whatever you have done, it is saved in history. So if you can see history, right, with your uh, picture, with your email ID, what you have changed, right, at what date and time. So if you click on this, uh, it will show you uh, that part which is changed by you, and it will also compare your change with the previous versions of Signals Notebook, right? So here we have changed anything, so it will show. Now, after doing all these things, if you need to get the backup of those experiment, then what you can do is you can simply go to the action and print to PDF, right? Now, if you go to the print to PDF, what would you like to add? You would like to include the history, obviously, include any related experiment or comment, uh, the letter or tablet or A4 sheet, portrait or landscape, then go to the print to PDF. So it is preparing. Right. Now you can see the notebook, the owner of the notebook, created by, modified by, status is active. If your reviewer have closed and signed, then status would change like closed. Right? Then introduction, reaction, whatever you have done, procedure, right? Like that. And then we have a history. And if you have any other document like Word file or Excel file, you can see in the attachment section. So I have a CDXML file here. So I can also open it and download it. Right. So this is a basic of Signals notebook. So once you have ChemOffice, Signals notebook would be free for 1 year, and you can also extend it to a number of years. Right. So this is all about the ChemDraw, ChemExcel Signals notebook. I'm sorry I could not able to show you the Chem 3D part because I don't know if there is any some changes are there or not. But this is all about the ChemDraw. So if you have any questions, then let me know.